It's been exactly 30 days since Uranus first appeared in our sky. At first, it was an astonishing sight, almost as if our moon had suddenly found a celestial partner, a new companion in the cosmos. But fascination soon turned into dread as astronomers quickly realized that something was horribly wrong. This wasn't just an ordinary planetary shift, something enormous was heading directly toward us. What could have possibly caused Uranus to break free from its orbit and come hurtling toward Earth? What would happen when this ice giant, nearly 15 times the mass of our planet, made contact? And what was that unbearable, foul stench filling the air? This is What Ifs, and today, we're diving into the terrifying scenario of Uranus colliding with Earth. The beginning of the end. Let's rewind to 30 days ago, when everything was still normal. Uranus had always lived a peaceful existence at the edge of our solar system, roughly 3 billion kilometers away from Earth. It was distant, cold, and stable, until, suddenly, it wasn't. For some unknown reason, Uranus broke free from its orbit and began moving toward the inner solar system. Normally, planets don't just wander off without cause. Something had to have knocked Uranus out of position. Perhaps a rogue star, a black hole, or even an unknown gravitational force had disrupted the solar system's balance. Whatever the reason, Uranus was now on a collision course with Earth. At first, astronomers believed we had about 13 years before impact. That timeline, while terrifying, at least gave humanity a small window to prepare, possibly even evacuate the planet. But as calculations improved, it became clear that Uranus had other plans. Rather than taking years to arrive, the ice giant was accelerating, rapidly reaching a velocity of nearly 1,000 kilometers per second. This unthinkable speed meant that Earth had only 30 days left before the ultimate catastrophe, a cosmic light show. As the days passed, Uranus became brighter and brighter in the sky. At first, it appeared as a small blue, no different from an ordinary star. But with each passing night, it grew in size and brilliance, eventually becoming as large as the moon in our sky. At the same time, Earth's night sky became filled with streaks of light, a breathtaking yet ominous sight. These weren't meteors or shooting stars, they were asteroids flung from their stable orbits. To reach Earth's orbit, Uranus had to pass through the asteroid belt, located between Jupiter and Mars. As it plowed through this region, its gravitational pull disrupted thousands of asteroids, many of which were now hurtling toward Earth. Some of these space rocks were as large as 240 kilometers in diameter, bigger than the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. There was nowhere to hide. With massive asteroid strikes, extreme seismic activity, and the impending planetary collision, we were witnessing the apocalypse unfold before our very eyes. The final days of Earth. With only days left, the gravitational pull of Uranus began to severely impact our planet. The Earth itself shook violently as tremendous earthquakes erupted across continents. Volcanoes that had been dormant for centuries suddenly roared back to life, spewing lava, ash, and toxic gases into the air. The oceans churned into chaos, with mega tsunamis taller than skyscrapers devastating coastlines. The climate became completely unpredictable, with hurricanes stronger than anything ever recorded forming out of nowhere. The very crust of the Earth began to crack as tectonic plates shifted uncontrollably. And then, there was the stench. If the sheer destruction wasn't bad enough, the atmosphere itself became toxic. Uranus' upper atmosphere is filled with hydrogen sulfide, the same foul-smelling compound found in rotten eggs and decaying flesh. As the planet neared, this pungent gas began seeping into Earth's atmosphere, suffocating millions before the collision had even begun. A single breath of this toxic air could cause instant unconsciousness or worse. The skies turned an eerie shade of green, and a horrific, inescapable odor spread across the globe. The moment of impact. When Uranus finally reached the Earth-Moon system, it wasn't alone. The ice giant brought all 27 of its moons along for the ride. Each moon, some hundreds of kilometers in diameter, collided with Earth-like planetary missiles, obliterating entire continents in an instant. As Uranus finally made contact, Earth's atmosphere ignited. The immense gravitational compression, combined with the rapidly rising temperatures, set the sky on fire. In the blink of an eye, our once beautiful blue planet was reduced to nothing but a fiery wasteland. What happens to Uranus? Despite annihilating Earth, Uranus wouldn't escape unscathed. Billions of years ago, scientists believed that Uranus was hit by a massive planetary object twice the size of Earth. This ancient collision tipped Uranus on its side, making it the only planet in the solar system that rotates nearly horizontally. Now, with Earth slamming into it, the impact could potentially knock Uranus back into a more upright position, essentially undoing billions of years of cosmic history. But for humanity, the story would end here. If, by some unfathomable miracle, life managed to survive on the remains of Earth, the sky would never look the same. Our world would no longer orbit the sun. Instead, it would become a frozen moon, locked in orbit around the icy blue Uranus. And from its shattered surface, any surviving life forms would gaze up at their new sky, staring at the bright blue ice giant looming above them, the same way we once admired the view of Jupiter's moons. A terrifying thought. Final thoughts. The chances of Uranus suddenly breaking free and colliding with Earth are so astronomically low that we don't need to worry about it happening anytime soon. But planetary collisions have happened before, and they'll happen again, just not in our lifetimes. Still, this scenario shows how fragile our place in the universe truly is. If one small gravitational shift could throw an entire planet off course, what other dangers could be lurking in the cosmos? And speaking of catastrophic space events, what if another planet was on a collision course with Earth? Could we survive an impact with Mars or Venus? Well, that's a story for another What Ifs.